What is going on YouTube? It's the trilogy right here. Now we're going to talk about the gatherers because I think it's the next most logical step in the progression. So you know how to do, you chose your civilization, you're out there farming the barbs. Now it's like, okay, in my opinion, you need your gatherers is like the next big thing to understand because you're going to need the gatherers in order to get enough resources. I call it economic power to do anything. You can't train troops. You can't get better technology. You can't level up your buildings. You can't do a whole bunch of stuff without, you know, three of your main ways, easiest ways to gain power. You know, beyond leveling up your character commanders is all that stuff. You can't do that without resources. So I think because of that, the most important spot for XP to put your commanders in for any typical free to play or low spender specifically. Okay, the calculus is probably different. The idea, equation is probably different for people that do spend money because they have a responsibility to kind of have better commanders to help defend and protect people's troops when they're in rallies and stuff like that. But that's different for a typical person. I think one of the best investments you can do beyond a garrison commander, specifically Sun Tzu, is to pretty much level up your gatherers to 37. I really do think that. How I would do it in the beginning of the game, your XP is very limited. So what I would do if you were trying to like most efficient type stuff, right? I would get these four Sarka, Centurion, Constance, and Gaius. I would get all of those. They ain't gonna take you very long to get. You can get it from silver keys, you can get it from gold keys too. And I would start with Centurion first, right? Get them to 10. Get them to 10. Put in like 1 star until you get the 2 star like right before, like at 80%, and then dump in like 6 more stars to get them to 3 star, and that will unlock the army management at level 10, and then you can start putting all of your universal sculptures into him. And the reason why I say that is because, like, oh yeah, you're gonna have a whole bunch of sculptures left over, but who else are you gonna put, your advanced sculptures into? It ain't damn sure ain't gonna be City Keeper. It's for damn sure not gonna be Markswoman. So the most logical choice really is, Dragon Lancer maybe if you want the 10% cavalry march speed, but I mean you're gonna get that eventually. I don't know. The benefits you get from Centurion actually carry throughout all stages of the game, so it makes just the most sense, right? To use all your universals on him, right? Get this skill maxed, lock this skill until you do, and that's pretty much all it is to it. And get them to 37. And why 37 is the magic number is because you'll be able to get the more the better, and then 25% more gathering speed, right? And then you also have all these masteries. Boom. And he's the cheapest one to do that with. So you already got a good ass gatherer. Day I don't fucking know. I got mine by like day 3 or 4. I think it's gonna take longer because I did buy the writer of history, so I have a lot more XP to use than the average person. But maybe it takes you like a week. I don't fucking know. Hopefully not that long. The next one you get Constance from the expedition shop from doing a campaign, and you can only get her sculptures from the expedition shop. And because you probably want to be gunning for Ethelflad in the expedition shop to at least get this max, the 5111er, right? Then I would honestly say you should use all of your universals on Constance because the only way else you're gonna get it is from the expedition shop, and then that hurts your Ethelflad development. So with that being said, you can get Gaius from keys and you get Sarka from keys. So since you can't get her from keys, all of your universals can just go into Constance, quite honestly, right? Again, you want to max out the skill that gives you the gathering speed. So that's the second skill. Then for constant specifically, normally I would say get the load bonus, but for constants you get extra resources upon completion. So I think you might as well just take her all the way out and then just work on these two at the same time. Or if you want the load bonus, I guess that's fine. I don't know. I would do the resource because load bonus don't matter too much. Uh, it does help out quite a bit in the early game, but you will get enough siege units eventually to do enough farm. It doesn't take too long. Okay, and then she's specifically good for wood, among other things. Um, Now with Gaius, it's the same thing. Max the second skill, and then I would max the third skill, the load. Like this does help. Like let's say you were going to steal resources from a city, you could have your main march, your troops attack the city, and right before it's about to die, you're about to fuck up the city up, win or whatever, you could bring in Gaius real quick, and because he does increase siege unit march speed, and then you lose less troops, so then you get to like basically raid the fuck out of their resources that way. One day I'll show that in a video, but we're not really allowed to attack cities here, so there you fucking go. Let's see now, and then with Sarka, Gaius is good for food. Now with Sarka, she's kind of like the generalist, 18% across the board. Um, Same thing, max out the second skill. I do the third skill, and this skill is actually kind of nice because you can bring more troops. So if you combine her with Constance in the Alliance pit, you can do that right before you go to bed, and you will come back with a holy hell amount of resources. I mean, if I do that overnight, I can get around like, I don't know, 1.5 million, I want to say. Okay, so then, right, those are all your primary farmers, right, gatherers. And then you can also apply like secondary gatherers to them, right? And Joan of Arc could be a primary gatherer. I mean, she is going to be for me, right? But it's more important for you to max out that first skill first rather than trying to roll the dice trying to get the second skill, because this is Gangbuster. This is a really good skill to use for a free to play person. Shit, even just in general, she's a really good secondary commander in general. And because she's going to be a secondary fighting commander, you can pretty much do this. But let's say you didn't really have a lot of options at the beginning of the game. Maybe you want to use her as a primary and use a support tree. I don't think that's a bad thing to do either. But just know that you can use her as a secondary gatherer or primary, and then her bonuses are pretty fucking legit. They got a new chick called Matilda of Flanders. She gets stone, and the other things is just as well as the primary gatherers. Then you have, your legendary ones that, a lot of people might not have access to. You can get Cleo sculptures for free during the Strategic Reserves event. And then also from a little bit from the recharge at the beginning. So, I got her up a little bit. Sundiak, she's good for gold. She's really good for food. Just add them as secondaries to these original ones, and you'll be golden. So that's all it really is to the gatherers. One thing that I will say, in addition to what I'm already saying, is that honestly, I think tier 1 siege units are really the best value in terms of like gathering resources. Like if you're tier 1, people like to attack farmers doing Mighty Governor. And if you got, if you do decide to farm doing Mighty Governor, or just in general, right? If you're using tier 1 siege units, they don't take forever to raise up. So, you spending less time trying to get to a higher load bonus, because the difference in load bonus between the tier 1 and tier 2 is only two low. That okay, it's 10%, but it's for how much it takes double the time. So it's not very effective in my opinion. So, and then with these siege units, you can actually heal them within 3 seconds because they're tier 1s. Doesn't take very long at all. So even if your farm does get hit, you can go right back out and get to farming fast, and it doesn't cost as much in your hospital bill to do so. So I really like the tier 1 siege unit. That's my rationale. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Now, I would also say with the nodes, don't, for alliance sake, uh, for sake of your alliance not like getting hella frustrated, don't be that person that doesn't have enough load to do, like, let's say a level 4. Let's say you only had like only do like this much, right? Then you're gonna leave, I don't know, like 40k resources in a level 4. Somebody sees a level 4, thinks it's good, and they don't get nothing, and then like it hurts it because then another thing won't respawn, right? You know, around in this general area, and then that just hurts you guys. So if you don't have enough to finish it, don't do it. But if you do and just have to, right, go right back and finish it off. Don't be that person that I wish I could find one. Don't be that person. Like this one here, this is a level 4. This one ain't too bad, but don't be that person. It's supposed to be 504. The dude only took half. Don't be that person, right? So I might actually go finish that off. I tend to try to finish these off because I don't like seeing them. But just don't be that person. Okay, that does it for gathering. You know how to gather. Try to send them all out at around the same time. If you level them up, it takes around the same time. You know, just check back every, if it takes about an hour and 30 minutes, maybe a little bit less, just check every hour and 30 minutes. Just check, send your farms back out. You know, if it takes a little bit less than an hour for the ones that you're doing, check your account. I suggest everybody checks their account like once an hour. Just look at it, see if you need to train up more troops or send out gatherers, and that takes to do both of those things only takes literally 3 to 2 minutes. So I just think just the main thing is honestly once you get them set up, just check your account like every hour, and then you'll have like no problems. So that's gathering. You're a master, governor, gatherer. See you in the next video. I'm probably going to talk about buildings next because that seems to be a natural progression.